Hi everyone, long time no see. I am back with a review today. Let's see if I can remember how to talk to a YouTube channel because it's been so fucking long. I'm reviewing my top was supposed to be 5, but is 6 reads of the year. I read over 25 books this year, and next year I'm going to double that. It was really hard to decide what books to choose. It really was. I loved all of these books, and some just did not make the list that were still really good. I will probably put a top 10 at the end because there were a lot that I loved. Anyways, let's just jump into it. I am gonna put a spoiler warning because I love to spoil. So I'll try not to be bad. I won't like spoil endings or anything like that, but I might spoil some of the plot for you guys. So watch at your own discretion. But yeah, I'm just flinging these books around. Oh, whoa. I definitely want to start doing these reviews more. My goal is to start doing them every 3 months, and then I'll do a big one at the end of the year. But without further ado, and I talk so fucking fast, thank you, Mom. Let's get into my top 6 books of the year. I'm going to start with the most recent one, Strange Pictures, and some of the names I might not say. I tried to Google them. I'm really bad sometimes at pronouncing names, so I don't want to butcher these people's names. So Strange Pictures, there's the author. I'll probably put like a little book over here so you can see, but let's get into it. This book is crazy. Okay, I'm already forgetting my layout. Basically, this book is a murder mystery, which I love, and it's a Japanese murder mystery. Y'all know they get down, they don't play. First and foremost, I love Japanese horror. As you can see, I am a huge fan of Junji Ito. I literally have an arm dedicated to Junji. So this book already had me reeled in at Japanese, mystery horror sensation. But I just think that this book is so unique in the sense that it encourages the audience to play along like a Knives Out movie. I think that that's really cool, and it makes it stand out from other books. To be fair, I did guess who the main killer was pretty early on, but only in the first story did I know what happened. And if you know, you know. And it's not necessary, but my ass would try to put the pictures together, and I could not get those pictures down right. But it's fun to follow along. They give you everything that you need. And I love that it was an anthology series. I mean, an anthology story. Not really, because it's not. It is different stories, but it was like weapons in the sense that it was all these different people with different stories, but one main person was fucking them up. I thought that was really cool. I thought they were all separate stories, but obviously at the end I'm like, oh, this is one big story and that motherfucker is crazy. Yeah, this book was really good. It was really refreshing. I think I read it in a day or two. I'm going to give this a solid 5 out of 5. Most of these books will be 5 out of 5s. I'm not a person who is like overly critical. If the book pulled me in, I read it fast, it had a good plot, it had a good ending, it's getting a fucking 5 out of 5. I don't know why everybody gets their panties in a twist and wants to rate things 3s and 4s and da. Stop being overcritical. Truly, like, if something is good, it's good. So you'll see that I give a lot of these books 5 out of 5. I think there was only one maybe I didn't give a 5 out of 5, but this book, really good. I loved it. Let's move on to the next book, This Thing Between Us. by Gus Marino. This book played no games. This book is scary. This book is scary as hell. I feel like it should have come as like a, not rated R, but with like a scary warning. The fact that the description says darkly funny, nothing was funny about this book. I even tried to sit there and think if there were any funny moments. There weren't. I was literally terrified. Well, my review that I wrote for this was that this was a relentless, heartbreaking fever dream of a book. It was an incredible read, and it felt like I literally got sucked directly into the pages. And I have a very big imagination, but it is rare when a book can scare me because you have to be very descriptive about the images you give the reader. He did just that. When I tell you this, out of hundreds of books that I've read, this is the only book that I literally had to sleep with every light on in my house after one part in this book. And multiple times I had to just put it down and read it in the daytime because it was scaring me so much. So for a book to do that, I need y'all to know how good this fucking book is. It does so well to touch on how grief really makes you feel and how it wants to make you isolate and get away from everything. And I think that a deeper meaning is that he was trying to run from himself after his wife died, and this entity or his mind, his grief, all those bad negative thoughts that he had just followed him and fucked him up even more by himself. But yeah, this book was really scary, really sad. I hated the fucking ending though, and that's why it's gonna get a 4 out of 5. I think that this book is a beautifully done horror book, and it managed to scare the living shit out of me. So I think it's still worth reading in my opinion. But that ending, Gus, trash. Sorry. What if like one of the authors watches this and I'm just dissing his book? Okay, next up we're gonna do She's Always Hungry. I love this author. I want to see more from this author. I'm pretty sure she is up and coming. I think if I'm not mistaken, she only has 3 books out right now. So but correct me if I'm wrong, because I love her and I would love to read more of her books ASAP. I'm talking about ASAP! This was an anthology series, and it was one of the books I read towards the beginning of the year, so this review isn't going to be like that in depth. There are 10 stories in this, and I'm just going to name my favorite 3. I might talk about them a little bit, but probably not. I love anthology series. I think I already said that, but I love it. I love it. Something I really loved about the intro is that she gave a trigger warning, because I think it says, let me go to 221. It gave a trigger warning, which I really loved because I don't really get triggered, but sometimes I do. So she gives a trigger warning for every story in here. My top 3 stories, I highlighted them, would be She's Always Hungry. That story was so good. All these stories have their own personalities and own like they're all their own individual stories, and she really has this way about sucking you in to a world. And then since this is an anthology series, it's really, really beautiful that she's able to pull you in quickly, release you, and pull you straight into another story. I'm pretty sure I finished this in 2 days too. Anyways, enough about Eliza Clark. Let's get back to the story. The Shadow over Little Shittily. Now, I love the way that this one is written in particular, because she writes it as if it's a like restaurant and people are leaving reviews, and the only thing are the reviews in this chapter, and it's just like this crazy ass restaurant that people don't even know if it's real. if it's fake. They don't know. And I think that was such a cool idea to think, hey, I'm gonna tell a story with food reviews. I thought that was really cool. Extinction Event, I really like that story. I really did. But this book, 5 out of 5. We ain't stingy about giving a book 5 out of 5. If it's good, it's fucking good. I need my notes for this one. Paradise Rot. This freaky deaky ass book, I want y'all to know that there is a mention of pee every chapter, and I'm not exaggerating. Maybe every 15 pages, excuse me. This book is insane. This is a sapphic LGBTQ plus book. The weird girls will really love this book and appreciate this book. If you're not a weird girl, don't read it. Your mind couldn't possibly comprehend the depth of this book. Not even to be rude, but you have to be a specific weird ass girl to like this book, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I think something that is really beautiful about this book is the women in this book in the house are allowed to be dirty. I thought that was something very beautiful that I rarely see in books. And not to say dirty, but they're allowed to be disgusting, trifling in this book. I mean, in the house that they live in, there is mushrooms growing, moldy fruit, moss and shit growing everywhere, sleeping in pee. The walls are thin. You can hear everything. When they're in this house, anybody that comes in this house, the house affects them in a weird way. The house just makes them act really weird, as if it's like you are slowly becoming one with the house, and it has hoarded all these people and their energies in this house. But I think that is so beautiful that they're allowed to be dirty. I think as women, society has told us, we have to be these clean, posed, polished, perfect all the time, clean girl aesthetic, clean house, do what you're told. And that, like, women sweat, we secrete, we pee, we have babies, and we rip. Like, we literally tear. Nothing about being a woman is clean. Nothing about being a woman is clean girl aesthetic. And I think that this book does a very good job in just showing that it's okay to be a fucking woman and deal with all these normal human nature things that are disgusting as women. We don't have to hide the wild parts of ourselves. Honestly, if you've read this book and you know of other books like this, I would love a recommendation. Love. I would rate this a 5 out of 5, obviously. I, Who Have Never Known Men, Made Me Fucking Cry. This book is so beautiful and so special to me. And I will fight anybody who says this book is not good. So, I'm just going to read my review. I loved how this book ended with so many unanswered questions for the reader, for the narrator, for everybody. And you don't get them. As the reader, you don't get them, you don't know. And all you can do is predict and infer what the fuck is actually going on. I only have educated guesses about what happened. And I always said that I feel like the writer did a very good job of that, because it wouldn't be fair for the reader to get the answers that the narrator never got. And that's how deep that fucking book is. A fictional book, a fictional character, it wouldn't be fair to me to get the answers she never got. And I'm gonna stand on that, period. A lot of people I saw in the reviews were mad that they couldn't get the answers at the end, and you're missing the entire point of the book. It wouldn't be fair, it wouldn't be right. Most people die never getting answers to anything. I'm probably gonna die never getting answers to anything. You know what I mean? So I feel like the way the author ended that book Spot on. Spot on. This book really left me feeling hopeless. I won't lie. If you're an empath or anything like that, it's probably going to make you cry. I really just loved how it was like a play on real life. I feel like we spend so much time searching for the perfect life, or searching for answers, or searching for our purpose. And not to say I'm like a nihilist and nothing matters, but what matters is right now, you know, being with community, being with people that you love. And I feel like people neglect that sometimes because they're so focused on their trajectory of life, when you just have to live it. Because these women spent their lives until they died searching for answers to never get them, when they could have just set up, been happy with each other, been happy with the family that they are, and lived out their days and rested, and not spent their whole life searching for something that they never ever got. So I'm getting goosebumps. Yeah, this book was really good. I really loved it. 5 out of motherfucking 5. Last but surely not least, Lonely Crowds. This book, beautiful. Beautiful. This book was so intimate, and it is another sapphic LGBTQ plus book. They in the reviews saying it's not, but it is. They say it's not because the girl is like closeted and she's in love with the other girl, her best friend, sister, whatever you want to call her. And she never really comes out. She never really gets the strength to come out. I don't know what is more gay than being in love with your childhood best friend and just holding that in, never telling her. She mainly did not act on her gay tendencies. That doesn't make it less of a gay book. This is literally a gay book, and I'll stand on that. Fight me. This book, so intimate. It really felt like I was listening in on a conversation that I was not supposed to be listening in on. Just every single page touched with intimacy. I related to both of the characters and everything that they were going through. I really feel like this book was directly speaking to me. The author had this incredible way of bringing you into the character's world. This book sucked me in quickly and held my attention. It beautifully illustrated how love can be filled with jealousy, obsession, hatred, and yet you still cannot choose who you love. Gay book, okay? No matter what they do to you. I related so much to the main character, Ruth, filled with so much intimacy, you can feel it leaking out of the book. And I also added, this book is gay as hell. In love with your childhood bestie, final boss. You are so sad at the end for Ruth, but it is all her doing. She chose not to live in her skin, and almost reminds me, I don't want to stretch, but I was thinking about it earlier, and it almost reminds me of I Saw the TV Glow. I think this book definitely feels like that as well. It's a girl the whole time, and you're telling her like, no, do what you want, say something, stand up for yourself, come out that closet. But she just does it, and you know, it is what it is. That's how some people's lives are. Again, 5 out of motherfucking 5. I'm about to go get some sushi. Hopefully I really didn't talk that fast. We'll see when I'm fucking done. Hopefully I don't have to re-record it because I did this fast. Top 6 books of the year. And that's a wrap. I'll see you guys later. I love you guys. I love you, babe. I love you. You my everything.